Um, in the late 40s, I did quite a number of all-white paintings, and I did quite a number of all-black paintings. And I don't know if at the time whether I don't know it still. I've never seen, have known of any other artist that had done all-white paintings and all-black paintings. Now, the white is the same white all over, but this is my drawing. And I painted up to that pencil line. That's a pencil line. But I just push the paint, oil paint, push it up to that line. And it's fun doing them also. I guess I didn't put one of the black ones in. I did a number of paintings using these shapes, a little bit like alphabetical shapes. And some of them were exhibited in London in the 50s. This was done in the late 40s. And some of them with some paintings I did in the 50s were exhibited in London. And the American, who is now American, historian and critic Lawrence Alloway, at the time he hadn't, before he had left London, Englishman, he wrote about the show, and he knew that I had grown up on a farm and ranch in Oklahoma, and he thought those must be cattle brands. Well, they weren't. But I never mind his calling that because it makes it easy to refer to these as the cattle brand courage. Yes.
What is the size of the original?
This is a small painting. It's about this high and about so wide. But I did some that were this high and this wide from that same period. I did some of them. This form would be black, and then all of the so-called background white. And I did them in various colors, and I had a great number of artists that were influenced by that period, younger artists. Now, this again, Mondrian only used straight lines, verticals, and horizontals, and within those he had rectangles. He disliked diagonals very much, and this sort of direction back at that time, which started in France, Germany, and Russia about 1910, called constructivism. Mondrian, one of the leaders in that, he didn't like diagonals and he didn't like curves. And so when I did this, he died about 1955, and I still didn't have the nerve to go ahead as the great master and put in diagonals, but I wanted to use diagonals, so I played them in this way and this way as the diagonal coming through here. And then I had my verticals and the horizontals and the diagonals there, and it made much more music to me. But it's quite a long while after I said, now then after Mondrian had been dead for a number of years, now I am my own authority, I'll do what I think. It took a lot of nerve then to do it. I started really using diagonals, which you'll see later, and curves. Okay. Same period in the 40s. But here we have that same thing going on. This is the same grade all over that City Janus knows. Now take this whole area here. Just the gray, the background, how does it look compared to this gray in this white rectangle? One looks darker than the other. Some people, the one looks darker to the other people, it's the other way around. And there's room for argument there. Well, that is a bit of mystery in art. Art does carry mystery, and it goes beyond understanding. I heard back in the 40s, I used to go to 57th Street in New York every Saturday to go to the galleries. And one gallery particularly is called Valentine du Vinci. That was the dealer's name. And he was talking with some clients one day, and I overheard him say, it'll take you 15 years to understand this painting. He says, don't ever buy a painting that you understand completely. He says there's nowhere to go. He says you can grow up with this and expand your mind and know more in 15 years than when you started. If you buy something that you already understand, you have no place to go except that. Okay. This is a very large painting. Same like the same problems that I was working on. Using indirectly the diagonals with the verticals and horizontals with a greater amount of color.